Welcome back to the channel. After 3 episodes of non-stop action, an Arachne fight, a Storm Island survival arc, a weather-controlling salamander beast, Jasmine saving the day with one swing. Episode 4 of the beginning after the end, Season 2 takes a breath. And I mean that in the best possible way. Episode 4 dropped on April 22nd, and this one is quieter, more personal. It's Arthur back home, training with people he loves, shopping with his mom and sister, having real conversations about what comes next. But underneath all of that warmth and normality, something is brewing. Because Brauld, an AA rank adventurer, seeks Arthur and Jasmine's cooperation for a quest promising exceptional treasure. Although Brauld is well known and powerful, Jasmine grows suspicious when she learns that his main party will not be participating in the quest. Fandom Wire. And the official episode description drops a line that should make every TBATE fan sit up straight. An unimaginable tragedy awaits them. So enjoy the warmth of episode 4 while it lasts, because something dark is coming. Today we are breaking down everything in the beginning after the end, Season 2 Episode 4, One Last Adventure. Like button. Subscribe if you're new. Let's get into it. Fast recap. Episode 3 saw Arthur wash up on a random island after a violent storm separated him and Jasmine at sea. He found Lucas Wykes and Elijah stranded on the same beach. The three of them, an uneasy, reluctant alliance, fought a massive weather-controlling salamander mana beast that had been generating the storms protecting its territory. They fought hard, took serious damage, and still couldn't finish it. And then Jasmine arrived, found by Sylvie, and ended the entire fight with a single decisive sword strike. They made it back to the mainland safely. But the bigger picture was clear. Arthur's time as a free adventurer is running short. Xyrus Academy enrollment is coming. And whatever happens before he walks through those gates is going to matter enormously. Episode 4 is where that countdown really starts to feel real. Episode 4 begins with Arthur and Jasmine's return home from the eventful mana beast encounter at the deserted island. And Arthur, being Arthur, doesn't rest for long. Arthur preps for a series of training sessions with the Twin Horns, Helen Shard, Adam Crench, Angela Rose, and Durden Walker. Now, the Twin Horns are a B-rank adventuring party that Arthur has trained with before. They're not the most powerful group around, but they're experienced, practical fighters who push Arthur in ways that pure solo training doesn't. Fighting real people with real, unpredictable styles forces Arthur to adapt in the moment, something that raw monster hunting can't always teach. As Arthur finishes his training with Adam, the rest of the party starts their training with him. One by one, each member bringing a different challenge. Helen's aggressive sword style, Angela's mana-based support and trapping, Durden's raw physical strength. Arthur works through all of them. And what's fascinating watching these training sequences, even in a quieter episode like this one, is the visible gap between Arthur and everyone around him. He's not showing off. He's genuinely holding back and calibrating so the sessions are useful for both parties. But the control and precision he displays at this age is extraordinary. Every single member of the Twin Horns knows they're training with someone who is already operating at a level far beyond his years. It's a reminder, even in a calm episode, even shopping and training at home, that Arthur Lewin is not a normal child. He never has been. While Arthur is working through his training sessions, Jasmine gets an unexpected visitor. Jasmine is approached by the AA rank adventurer Brauld, who asks her to join his party for a particular adventure. Now, AA rank is serious. That is elite adventurer territory. Brauld is not someone you dismiss or ignore. He has the credentials, the reputation, and the power to back up any invitation he extends. But Jasmine grows suspicious when she learns that his main party will not be participating in the quest. Fandom Wire. Think about that for a second. An AA rank adventurer, someone at the top tier of his field, is inviting Jasmine specifically, but not bringing his own experienced, trusted team along. Why? If the quest is dangerous enough to require AA rank involvement, why leave your main party behind? And why specifically recruit Jasmine, a talented but lower-ranked adventurer, to fill that gap? Something doesn't add up. And Jasmine, who has been doing this long enough to have very good instincts about when something feels wrong, immediately picks up on it. Jasmine approaches Reynolds with the unusual invitation she received from Brauld. After the two brainstorm the possibilities, Jasmine leaves as Reynolds tasks her with delving deeply into the matter. Reynolds, Arthur's father, a retired S-rank adventurer himself, doesn't dismiss her concern either. He knows how these things work. An invitation that doesn't make sense on the surface usually has something underneath it that someone doesn't want you to see clearly. He sends Jasmine to dig. Reynolds then approaches Arthur in the courtyard to train with him, but is stopped by Alice and Eleanor. Classic Lewin family chaos. Even a training session with his father gets intercepted by the women of the house. It's a genuinely warm, funny little moment that grounds the episode in the domestic warmth of home. And now, the part of the episode that reviewers and fans are calling the emotional highlight. While Jasmine left to do a deeper investigation regarding the brawled matter, Arthur accompanied his mom and sister for some shopping. This is simple. This is quiet. And this is exactly the kind of scene that the beginning after the end does really well when it's allowed to just breathe. Arthur, the boy who was King Grey in a past life, who has fought arachnes and weather beasts and survived a shipwreck, who carries the memories and instincts of the most powerful ruler in another world's history, is walking around a market with his mother and little sister, arguing about what to buy, getting pulled into shops he didn't plan to enter, carrying bags. It's completely ordinary. And that's the point. Because the core of Arthur's story, the reason his second life matters, is exactly this. King Grey had power, wealth, fame, and absolute loneliness. He had nothing like this. These simple, mundane moments of family life that he never experienced in his previous life? This is the redemption. This is what he's fighting to protect. Back at the town center, Arthur gets detached from his mother and sister and browses a shop to buy a dimensional ring. While he is engaged in a conversation with Helen and Angela, his mother and sister find him, and the shopping continues, ending with Arthur exhausted at the end of the day. The dimensional ring purchase is a small but practical character beat. Arthur thinking ahead, preparing for the academy, making sure he has the right tools. Even during a casual shopping trip, the strategic part of his brain never fully switches off. And the image of Arthur, exhausted, overpowered, surrounded by his family, is genuinely one of the most charming the season has produced. This is what normal feels like, and it is beautiful while it lasts. The episode also briefly checks in on Lucas Wykes, and the scene is small, but tells you something important. At the guild, Lucas seems frustrated with the lack of good quests to take on. After the island incident, where he was forced to fight alongside Arthur and saw exactly what Arthur is capable of up close, Lucas is restless. Staying real as always. From a technical standpoint, there was some movement in the episode rather than the standard slideshow we've been getting. However, it wasn't really a drastic shakeup from the usual, and the community has already had a field day with one specific moment, Reynolds' crab walk, during a scene in the courtyard, where his movement animation looked so awkward it immediately became a talking point. Although the animation studio added some movement in the episode, it was really awkward more than a few times. Progress, but still a long way to go. The story carries episode 4. The production is still not matching it. So that is the beginning after the end season 2 episode 4, One Last Adventure. It's a quiet episode. A warm episode. Arthur training with people he trusts. Shopping with his mother and sister. Having the kind of ordinary day that King Grey never got to have in his previous life. And then, in the final moments, choosing to take one last mission with Jasmine before everything changes. At least the narrative was good enough this time around to draw attention away from the visual mediocrity. Episode 4 succeeds because it makes you care. It makes you feel the warmth of Arthur's world right before it warns you, quietly, deliberately, that something terrible is coming. That is good storytelling instinct. Even if the animation still can't fully match it. The Academy arc is right around the corner.
In today's video, we're going to cover
first,
episode 5
One Last
of The
Adventure.
Beginning After the
And
End,
whatever is
Season
waiting
2.
for
So if you
Arthur
haven't watched
and
the
Jasmine
previous
on the
episode
other
yet,
side of Brawl's
do that
suspicious
first.
invitation
After that,
is going to change
you'll
things
want
permanently.
to watch today's episode
I am
and
nervous
support the video.
and excited
Subscribe to the channel
and already
so,
dreading episode 5.
Let's start the
and
video.
that is your
At the beginning of the
complete
story,
breakdown of the
we're shown a
beginning
scene of
after
Arthur
the
and
end
Jasmine
season
going
2,
on their final
episode
quest.
4,
To be honest,
One Last
Arthur
Adventure.
was very excited
Arthur
at that time.
grinding
After that,
through the twin
the lull,
horns, training
he
one
arrives
by
at a
one.
location where we're shown
Reynolds
a lot of
getting
adventures.
stopped from
Bolt is
training with his
accompanied
own
by
son
many
by
other
Alice
adventurers.
and Eleanor.
Interestingly,
Absolute legend
we also
behavior.
see Lux there.
Arthur getting
After
lost
this,
during shopping
all the other
and buying a
adventurers give their
dimensional ring.
introductions.
Luke is
and most of
frustrated
them
that the
were
guild's
A-rank
still
adventurers.
processing what Arthur
A girl
showed
named
him on that
Samantha
island.
is also shown.
And then
and she was
Arthur
quite
and Jasmine
cute. I've
deciding
already
to
told
take
you its
Brawl's
name.
suspicious
and Arthur
quest
and
together
Jasmine also
as one
introduce
final
themselves
adventure
and talk
before the
about their
academy.
ranks.
It's warm.
You'll know Bolt
It's
well
beautiful.
enough.
And
He
it
was
makes
an
that
A-rank
line
adventurer,
an
but you
unimaginable
could consider him a
tragedy
double
awaits them.
A-rank adventurer.
It's so much
He was
harder.
a little stronger.
Now I want to hear
Overall,
from you in the comments.
Jasmine and Bolt
what do
were
you
both
think the
quite
tragedy
powerful.
is going to be?
After this,
what is Brawl
everyone
actually
starts going
hiding
into
about
danger.
this quest? Is
And
he
we also
working for
learn the
someone?
reason behind
And if
Arthur
you've read the
joining.
web novel
In
or
fact,
webtoon,
no one
and
had
no
even
spoilers,
sent him an invitation.
but are you hyped or terrified
After
for
this,
what's coming
we
in
learn
episode
that his
5?
friends
Drop
were
your thoughts
participating
below.
in the quiz.
This
I'm talking
community
about Lucas and
always
Eliza,
brings the best
and he wanted
theories.
them to be
A like
completely
takes
safe.
2
That meant no
seconds
problems.
and genuinely
For
helps
this
this
reason,
channel reach more
Arthur
TBATE
also
fans.
joined Guild.
It means
he joined
everything.
a selfish team
And if you
so that
want
he could go on a
every
mission with
episode
them
of season
on
2
one
covered
last
right
mission,
here,
and on the way
subscribe
everyone was
and
telling
hit the
about
bell.
themselves, as
We
if
are
all
here
of them were
every
different
single week.
people.
See
In
you
a
next
way,
week for episode
there was
5.
no proper team.
Until then,
but there were
the
some
second
people
life
who knew
is
each
just
other.
getting
Yeah.